Hello everybody, and welcome back to Just a Girl and Her Knitting, my little corner of the crafting world where I talk about my knitting and the rest of my nonsense that I partake in. My name is Heather, and you can find me on all of the social media platforms. I'll post my name or my username down below. Goodness gracious, it's been a minute, y'all. It's been a minute. I last came to you guys January 1st, my 1 year podiversary, I think is what people kind of call it. And then it's been 5 months since I've been back. We had the baby. She's perfect. She's asleep on me right now. So I thought, well, she's sleeping. I have 30 minutes. Let me see if I can get this recorded and then uploaded so we can kind of get back on a roll with normal, or not normal, regularly scheduled podcasts, because I used to only do them once a month. So my plan is to continue going forward with once a month again, now that things have kind of balanced, figured out. She's almost 6 months old, so we're kind of getting the hang of things. I'm still working full-time and I take care of her full-time, so my knitting isn't as much as it used to be, but I am getting some stuff done. I don't know how much I'll have accomplished next month, but we'll see. We'll play by ear. We'll just keep on keeping on. This year I don't have, like in previous years, I've always been stressed. I put this unneeded stress on myself to finish more objects than I did the previous year, and this year I'm kind of like, whatever. But with that being said, welcome back. Thank you to new viewers. Thank you to the subscribers. I hope that you enjoy what I have to offer today. I have 3 garments that were 2 I was working on last time I would talk to you guys, but they were secret, so I couldn't show you them. 1 is a new one that I recently just finished, and then I have 2 pairs of test knit socks and 5 other pairs of socks. I think I finished a couple sets of dishcloths, but I don't think I have them down here. So let's go ahead and get started. We'll just jump right in with finished objects. And then we'll start with the first little test knit garment that I made. This one was a test knit for Vanessa Smith Designs. As you guys know, I've test knit 2 others of her garments. They were the Mint to V and Bestie Vestie. So one is a V-neck sweater with long sleeves. I knit it out of Lion Brand woolies. Then I knit a cropped cabled vest that the cable matches the sweater in the same yarn. Just my dye lots were off, so I used a lighter dye lot. And then I knit out of the same yarn that mine is. This is the Bitty Bestie Vestie. So it's the same vest that mine is, just in tiny form. So it's got these adorable little eyelets and this cable down the front, and it's a V-neck with twisted rib. I knit I think it's 0 to 3 month size. I didn't look that up, but she wore it a few times when she was first little, because she was born, in the winter, so she got to wear it. But this was also knit out of Lion Brand woolies, in the same color. I still have some. It's not leaving my life at this point. I don't know what else to knit anymore with it, because I have knit so many things at this point. I'm just like, because I think I still have like 4 skeins left. That didn't even use half of a skein. I guess I could knit her another one for this winter coming up. Knit the bigger size. We'll see. I very rarely knit the same pattern more than once unless it's a tin can knit sweater or tin can knits pattern. Usually it's either the flax or the barley hat. Those are the two that I knit all the time. And the muscle burrow, that one I knit a lot. And then I just do vanilla socks. But when it comes to garments, I don't typically knit the same pattern more than once. So the next pattern that I was working on was a secret test knit for Mishi Fraz Knits, or Michelle from Not the Worsted podcast. She was working on a super secret shirt design that launched for the Puget Sound yarn crawl that happened in like early spring. And this is the Brunch Crew tee. So here it is. Hopefully you can see it all. So it's a cropped tee with a lace panel down the front and on the back. I knit this out of Lion Brand Respun yarn. I don't remember the colorway, but I will link it down below. It's really nice. It's really warm. It's like a polyester. I don't know if maybe it'll be great to wear in the fall for sure. I need to reblock it to make it not so stiff. So we'll see how that goes, but it was a super fun to knit. I finished it up, I think just after she was born. I got pretty close. I got almost the whole body done, and then I had a few more rounds, and I was getting the hang of, having a newborn again and being exhausted. And then while she was napping and I wasn't taking a nap, I would just knit on it for a little bit, for a few minutes here and there, and I finally got it finished before the deadline, I will say, but I got it finished. It was a really fun knit. Michelle's patterns are really easy to follow, really well written. There was very few mistakes that we had to correct when we were doing the testing, so that was great. So that was the Bitty Bestie and the Brunch Crew tee. So my last sweater that I knit is also a test knit. This is the Nuculate Kid sweater. I will link the designer down below. It's not out yet, but it is something we can show. And here it is. It's just this really sweet, really cute circle yoke sweater with these garter ridges. So this is designed to use self-striping yarn. If you don't have self-striping yarn, you don't have to. You can use scraps, mini skeins, whatever you want. I used Mustache Yarn Eras Tour, the Taylor Swift colorway that I had some leftovers of. And I just knit until I ran out. This is a fingering weight sweater. I knit the 12-month size, so it will fit little one this fall and just fall and winter. So it's knit, like I said, with the Mustache Yarn Eras colorway, and then the gray is Stash Lorna's Laces. I'm on a mission to stash down. I feel like I'm doing okay. I have not bought a ton of yarn over the last few months. I do still get my Yarnable subscription, but I think that's gonna go away for January 1st of 2026. But it probably will. I'm leaning more towards it because I still have so many sock yarns upstairs, but I don't know. Talk to my husband, see what he thinks. But here's this super cute sweater, and I used, like I said, Lorna's Laces and Mustache Yarn. I used 20 grams of the Mustache Yarn, and then I think I used about 80 grams of Balearna's laces. So here's garment number 3. These were all completed I think after January 1st. So what I have next is I have some socks. So my first pair of socks are going to be these ones. These were knit out of WSK yarns, or Western Sky Knits. It's hand dyed in Montana. The colorway is Barnwood. It's a aspen sock is their base, and it's a 75-25. So I originally bought this yarn to do a test knit for Nancy of Knit Sip Happy, because you know how I feel about her test knits, and she always does some where there's always a lot of contrasting heels, toes, and cuffs, and I don't always have sets. So I bought this while we were on vacation in Montana last September, and I had cast on for a pair of socks for Nancy, and the yarn bled horribly. And while that doesn't bother me, it was bad. So I decided to just forego this yarn for that test knit, and I ended up using something else. I don't even remember what test knit it was for at this point. So I ended up coning and cranking this on my Erlbacher Gerhardt Speedster sock knitting machine that I have, a circular sock knitting machine, and then I soaked it to get all the excess dye out, and then I set the dye with vinegar to make sure it wasn't going to bleed everywhere again, and it still did. So it is what it is. I'm gonna wash them one more time and I hope that it's done, but we'll see. But anyway, so what I did was I cranked a really long tube. I have 2 of them. So I cranked a long tube and I put toes in. Then I measured to put in heels. I measured for legs. And then I took out enough for the ribbing, knit the ribbing, and then added contrast. This is what I have left of the contrast. And then this is what I have left from my tube. So I have enough to make a pair of shorties. I might do that for my husband. I might do it for me. I haven't decided either way. But here's this. So again, when I do it from a tube, basically it's just one long tube. And then I do my toes. Sometimes I do my cuffs first, but usually I do toes first, heels, then cuffs. And I get a pair of socks out of it. So here's this pair. I don't think I'm going to use sock blockers today. Like I said, I have a sleeping baby in my lap, and I think it'd be too difficult to maneuver to get the on and off the blockers. So my next pair of socks that I finished, these are also for my husband. Last year I made him his Advent skein or Advent socks, which he really enjoyed. So, or his 24 pairs of socks for Advent from December 1st to December 24th. And he really likes them. I don't know that I'm going to be able to accomplish that this year, which is fine. I'm shooting for 12 pairs. If I can at least get 12 pairs of socks done, that would be great. I can give them to him. It's still 12 pairs. That's still a decent amount of pair of socks. I have 7 in front of me. So that means 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 5 more to go. So, and 6 months. So basically a pair of socks per month. See if I can do it. It's a good goal. We'll see if I can accomplish it. So with that being said, here is the next pair. These are Regia Pair Perfect. I had knit a sock for me, and I think then I decided I didn't need any more socks. I have so many that I don't wear. I have a bin, or I have a Ziploc bag, a huge vacuum seal bag of all socks I have never worn. So I decided no more for me. My Advent socks are the only pairs of socks I'm giving myself this year. That's it. No more. That's what I say. Don't hold me to it. That's my goal. If anything, it will be my woolens and nosh, because I ordered woolens and nosh, and then my cozy knitter, because I've been doing it every year. Stephen West did release, or did post about the sock, the mystery sock along. Those might be for me. I don't know. We'll see what yarn I come up with to use, because I'm not going to buy a kit as much as I would love to. I'm not going to buy a kit. I have plenty of small skeins of yarn that I should be able to come up with something. I have a lot from Stephen West knit alongs that I could use as like the mini skeins. My what was it called that looked like the circus tent with the little noodle, or the shrimps and the boogers? Oh, was it? I can't remember, and I've knit all of them, but it's a 5 skein set, so I might have enough of that. We'll see when he releases the kits, so I can see what I need, how many I need. Otherwise, I have tons of other scrap yarns that I can make work. Anyways, I digress. So I started my sock, then I ripped it out, then I knit one for him, and then I ended up starting the second sock and realized I was starting from the opposite side of the skein, and that was a mess, so I ripped it out again, and I just cranked it on my circular sock knitting machine. I cranked one tube and then the other, took out however many rows I needed for the toe, which I measured down 2 inches, rip it out, started the ribbing at the color change, and then cut in for the heel. I measured and cut in for the heel. So that's a pair of socks. Then I have my Yarnable DK socks. So these are color. I got my 48-inch cylinder for Christmas this year. So I'm able to crank DK weight yarns now on my machine. So this one is Yarnable Plush DK, and the Intergalactic colorway is this, and Stardust is the purple. So I cranked 20 rounds for the hem and hung it, cranked a tube, added a toe, and then cut in for the heel on these. Same for this pair, 20 row hung hem, cranked a leg, put in the toes, added a heel, and this one is Frosty Fox is the blue, and Arctic Chill is the orange. That was December 2023's Yarnable. So, do we remember this pair? I cranked the tubes. I showed you because this was one of the first pairs I cranked, or first yarns I cranked when I got my cylinder, and I lost the green. Couldn't find it. It was in my bin of scraps this whole time. But I have 2 cuffs, 2 heels, and 2 toes, and they are finished. I should have done like green, 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 brown, 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 because I have this much left. It is what it is, not a big deal. And this is 3 by the Sea Campfire colorway. So those are all done. And then my next pair, where I test knit for Nancy of Knit Sip Happy. This pair I knit after baby was born. The pair before I knit while I was on baby watch. We were waiting for baby to be born. This pair is the Mountain Edge socks. Let's see if I can. So they have these little cable mountains all the way down. A rounded toe, a heel flap and gusset. Not my favorite, but I do them. Afterthought or short row heels are my favorite, but here they are. These are knit in the Palouse Yarn Company I Heart BFL sock base in Spring Showers. I really love Palouse Yarn Company. This was really deep stash, so it was really nice to get it used. Like I said, I'm on a mission to stash down, get through my yarns, and I've been working really hard to get that. So next and last pair and last finished object, these are the widget socks by Nancy of Knit Sip Happy. A twisted rib cuff, these little texture bumps on the back, and then these garter ridges with slip stitches down the sides, on both sides. And then I did a fish lips kiss heel, because that is my favorite, and a rounded toe. This was knit out of Weird Sisters Wool Emporium's Carol sock blank. It's a double sock blank, so it's got 2 strands. I started them 2 at a time, separated them, I think probably here, and then just flew through them and got them done. So those are all my finished objects. Other than, like I said, a couple pairs of, oopsies, sorry. Then a couple pair of, other than a couple pairs of, a couple sets of dishcloths. So whips. I have socks right now. That's something that I've been working on. I have my habitation throw blanket, which I'm not really very far on, but I'm trying to make time every day to get some crafting done. So one of my whips, this is what I take to the lake in my pickle bag by Cottontail, I think it is. I don't know, I don't show bags a lot, or if I do, it's always the same ones. But this is January 2025's Yarnable colorway. I went ahead and cranked a tube. It's 72 stitches. Cranked a tube on my circular sock knitting machine, and I added the cuff. I counted down 21 rows and knit the cuff. And then this gray is the same gray from the baby sweater that I added as a contrast, because I needed to count 22 rows to be able to do the bind off, and I'll know for next time. So now I just need to do the same on this side, count down 21 rows, do my ribbing, and then I'll measure it and cut it in half. So this is one that I do. I work on it in the car when we're going to and from the lake, or when we're sitting. If Grandma and Grandpa have baby, I can get some knitting done. And then my last whip that I have is, well, that I'm actively working on, is a pair of toe-up socks. So I'm doing them 2 at a time. We'll see how far these go, or how long they last, 2 at a time. So I just have the little toe caps. They're not done yet. I think I have like 6 more increases to go. I use the Turkish cast on. I think it's Turkish, where you just wrap it around and then knit. I'm using my Chiago needles in a, I think these are size 1s. Yes, 1s, 2.25. All of my socks are typically knit on 1s or 1.5, and then 3 for my DK socks. I used Chiago needles almost exclusively for socks. They are my favorite. They have the best cable for magic loop, or I use tiny circulars. This is a sock blank. That's why I'm knitting it 2 at a time, because it's a double-stranded sock blank. So there's 2 strands coming out when I pull on it. Sock blanks are fun. They definitely can have some, they make different. If they're single-stranded, they can make some fun socks. But this is Alexandria Crafts yarns in her sister base. It's, the color is turquoise snow, and it's a gradient. It's a 75-25, and this was dyed in Oregon. We were in Kennewick looking at a model house. My in-laws want to put a house out at the lake property, and so we went and looked, and then I just happened to Google and be like, hey, there's a yarn store in Kennewick, can we go? And I got that to make socks for my husband, and then I got 2 pairs of sock yarn that is the summery, so 1 bamboo pop sock yarn, and the other one is that brand that I used for a whole bunch that I knit him last summer. I don't remember. It's like Lane or something. I can't remember exactly, but they've held up really well, so I'm going to make them a couple more pairs, and then I have some leftovers, so I'll just make some monster socks for them. But other than that, my future knitting plans, I guess, the sock, mystery sock along for Stephen West that I want to work on. I need to work on my not geo gradient, what was it? So I had pregnancy brain before, now I have newborn brain because I can't remember anything. I actually had to write down my notes this time because usually I'm on it. This is what I knit, this is the color, this is the yarn. Not anymore. What was last year's mystery knit along? I don't remember, but I need to work on that some. I've been processing my fleeces I got from the summer or this spring down at Cabin Fever Spinning. We did end up going to that. Got a few fleeces, got some for the girls. They did one wash. They were some really dirty fleeces. We called them naughty fleeces. They are filthy, and they were only $2, $3. They're lamb fleeces, so they're super soft. I have a picker and a hackle and wool comb now, so I can really process a lot of the dirt out. I'm gonna hopefully try to work on that this weekend while we're out at the lake for 4th of July weekend. The property neighborhood does a huge golf cart parade where everyone dresses up, decorates a golf cart, drives through the neighborhood throwing candy, adult drinks, you name it. It's just a giant party. So I'm gonna work on that some. I don't think I'm gonna go on the golf cart for the parade this year because I'll be with the baby. My husband will get to do that. But so yeah, those are my main things. I am knitting on another test knit. It's a secret, so I can't talk about it or show anything about it. Didn't want to say anything about it just in case. But yeah, I don't know. Oh, I've moved rooms. Don't mind our utility closet. I need to put a door in there, but we did manage to get our basement finished. We got our bathroom finished. It's 100%. It's been inspected. It's passed inspection. All the fixtures are in, which is great. The baby's room is 100% set up for her. She takes naps in there except for today because I think she's teething, so she's not feeling very good. Hence why she's on my lap. But she's all good. So I'm in now what's my office while I'm working still, and the baby's toys are here because she sits with me all day long because, like I said before, I'm still working full-time and I take care of her full-time by myself. Then my husband has his monitor and PlayStation so he can play his video games with his friends at night. But we got it done, so that was exciting. I got some new planters for my garden outside. What else? Like, a lot of it's just been baby. We've been focused on the baby for the last few months, so. Well, with that being said, everybody, I think I'm going to let you go. Have a great day, and thank you for tuning in.